Yes, it's going. Good morning, good morning. My name is SMSNO. You can call me Dave, although now I am officially Daddy Dave. You can't call me Daddy. That would just be a little bit weird. So every year, around about this time, everyone suddenly starts going absolutely mental for TFN. And there are two people that have gone mildly mental for TFN, but it doesn't seem to be doing the rounds particularly well. So I just thought I'd stick my oar in. But the difference is with TFN this year is I'm not going. And the reason I'm not going is because I had one of those baby things. We were booked. We were all booked and ready to rock and roll. We had a nice room at the hotel. We were going to get there on the Friday. I was going to try not to get too pissed, but I was going to have some fun. And then we were going to leave on the Sunday because Emily's mum and dad live up that way and we could just go there and hang out and see the event and then mum and dad and then go home and everything lovely. I had the Friday and the Monday booked off. And then we decided to have our baby 15 weeks early, which leaves things absolutely in total tatters because we are just winging it and making it up as we go along. We're fine with that. You should be fine with that too. However, because I am very much an advocate of the event itself, and this isn't specifically TFN, this is just my convention experiences, but I thought we were in the car the other day and if I look over here, it's because I've got all the questions on my email because I can't read them off my phone because I'm talking to you now on it. I just thought I'd do some of the cool stuff that I've done at the convention things in the past. This isn't specifically TFN, this is just good reasons why you should make an attempt to go to one of these things at some point. There are still so many people on the people attending Transformers Nation 2019 Facebook page that are terrified and just completely in... Oh, there's a spider. Stories. I love this background. It's total cheat because if I go this way, look, there's loads of stuff down here, which is all nice, but the window kicks in. See what, Tony? If you have a night behind you, it fucks your lighting up. And if you go this way, it's just a door and the end of the detolf. But we got all of that down there as well, and all of that up there as well, and all that sort of stuff. Oh, Optimus Prime. I've got more Optimus Primes coming, but if I just put that like that, makes me look like a real deal loser. First AA. Bought all toys, afternoon, chilled in someone's room with peeps. Now, I've spoken about this one before. Now, oddly, I think, and I've got to do my maths, but I'm pretty sure this year was going to be my decade of attending Transformers conventions. Now, that doesn't mean that in 10 years I've attended 10 Transformers conventions, and some of you sheep should bloody get out of the same old swing, if I'm honest, and attend some other stuff to go to, because for fuck's sake, there are other things in the world. Anyway, different story. Hey, went to Transformers convention, and I went on a Sunday, because if I'm honest, and this is where my perspective becomes a little more clear, I was absolutely goddamn terrified, and I didn't want to go the whole weekend because I was just like, I don't like people or doing things. I still don't like people or doing things as a rule. But I got up the guts to go on the Sunday. I bought a Sunday ticket, which is the stupidest thing because obviously everything's pretty much gone by then. But I saved up a couple of £100 and I thought this was when my entire collection fitted on 3 shelves. All of them fitted on 3 shelves. It was ludicrous. I've got spiders coming down. I've got a family. So I got in my stupid blue BMW with my stupid exhaust and my big alloy wheels. And I went, because it was a very droney exhaust, all the way to Birmingham. Then I completely parked on the wrong side of Birmingham and had to walk all the way through Birmingham shopping centre and all that sort of stuff while getting completely lost. And then had to get all of that shit back to the car on the way back, which was even more of a nightmare. And then I turned up in the morning and I went through the hall and I met some people, and then within an hour I suddenly realised that I should have absolutely spent the entire weekend there and that this was the single greatest thing I'd ever done at that point. It was very, very good, and I got in the swing of it very, very quickly. Now, this is somewhat cheating because I had a decent little congregation of people that I knew when I was going to meet when I got there, and So, I mean, it wasn't that whole scary thing of I don't know anyone and I don't do this and I'm just going to turn up and like, what I knew it. I had people, but you can have people too. That's what the Facebook pages are for. If I'm honest, Facebook didn't really exist 10 years ago. It was there, but it was tiny. It was forums. It was moon-based too. And you just got to know people through YouTube videos, forums and stuff like that. The chances are, if you are engaging in social media enough to go on the people attending TFN 2019 Facebook page, then you have spoken to and had a dialogue with other people from within the fandom. And all you do is you just arrange getting there on the Friday night. Do you want a pint? Do you want a drink? Do you want an orange juice? Do you want to sit and play top trumps? It doesn't matter. Just push that first little introduction and everything will follow from there. Anyway, the reason that this... God, waffly. It's like the good old days. The reason that this was such a landmark thing, and it's always the very first thing that I come into in my head, is I was, at the time, in my mid-30s, and I was a 35-year-old man who collected toys. And I didn't really know anyone else that was in that boat. A couple of my friends had the occasional Star Wars bit. A few people had some, like, Corellian blockade runners and a few Millennium Falcons and Star Wars figures and stuff like that. Maybe the odd single Detolf full of Star Wars bits. And those people were extreme because they were adults with toys. And it was just weird. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to about this stuff. On the internet, yes. In real life, absolutely no. And then we went and I met Brad and Bubs and Johnny and Dodie and big guy from the Netherlands whose name I can't remember because doesn't matter. I met the gang who were Luffy and all of that lot, Johnny and Ingen. Caused a few hiccups at the time. They seem to have an awful lot of fun out of it, but I met the InGen crew. Back in focus. And we sat in a hotel room and I took all the toys that I bought up because I needed somewhere to stash stuff, really. And they said, we can come stash it in our hotel room. And this was when it was at the Holiday Inn, so it wasn't quite as grandiose. But it was marvellous because I couldn't work out how it was Bludgeon from Revenge of the Fallen. Yes, which gives you, dates it, doesn't it? So Bludgeon, Revenge of the Fallen, the tank one. I couldn't work out the transformation. And Johnny went, oh, I got that one. Give us it. It is a bit of a pig. Showed me how to do it. Now, the only way to do this up until that point had been to watch Optibotimus or my friends online, Mr. Vash at the time, and just people. Kevin Van Steen. That's the name I couldn't remember. And I actually got educated on how to do a thing in a room with people doing their own thing, but maybe 10 or 12 of us in the room at one time. And I just remember sitting there, and I was a lot slimmer then, and I had a pink check shirt on, which was something that I really loved that shirt. I couldn't fit it on one arm now. And it was just magnificent. Honestly, honest to God, I sat there and thought to myself at that moment, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. I didn't come for the toys. This is the bit that I came for. I came to hang out with my peeps and I came to hang out with my robo brethren and just people that were on the same page as me. That will always be my number one moment. That part, that bit will always be my number one memory when I think back at all the convention stuff that I've done, because none of it comes even close to that little moment. That's the bit, that's the bug that bit me, that kept me coming back next year. Next year, all weekend. Ever since then, all weekend. To be honest with you, this weekend, this time, this year, there's probably a very good chance that I might drive up and just spend a couple of hours in the bar, because I'm really battling with the fact that I can't do TFN for a year, or at least the convention bug for a year, and Rollout Roll Call's not around anymore, and there's some cool stuff that goes on in Tottenham now, but it's just, if I miss this bit, this is it for another year, another 12 months of not doing it. I'm not sure if I can do that. There you go. So if you're nervous, just reach out to the people that you know, because everybody knows someone, and go for it. Greg and Sammy, I can't remember what it is because I'm not very good at reading. Greg and Sammy doing a crypt reading. The first time I went for the whole weekend, Greg Berger was a guest, which was weird because it was, as I say, at the Holiday Inn, which is a much different layout to the Hilton that we know now, and I say love, but we just all go there. So I met Greg Berger in a lift when I was hanging out with Bubs, I think it was. And it was just, hi, hey, you're Greg Berger, you were Grimlock. You're right. And that was cool. And when we got where we were going, he wasn't going to the same floor of us. And it was like, when he got out of the lift, it's Greg Berger, fucking hell. And that was it, because I don't really, the guests are great, but they're not my, focus. Unless they ever get Welky or Cullen down, the guests are great, but it's not my focus. Then in the evening, they did a script reading, which was, it was full enough. It was full enough to be like feeling that you were in something special. But Sammy Sadek, Skullgrin 140, was doing the voice of Waspinator, because he does a very good Waspinator, and he loved it. And it was mad, because there was this thing, we were all sat there, and it was like Sammy, it was a bit of a giggle that Sammy was involved in it, because we were all like, I wonder what he's going to be like, and then all of a sudden it started, and Greg Berger went, me Grimlock, and it was just like, whoa, it blew my brain, absolutely blew my whole sanity, because to sit there and hear a voice, I'm not G1 set. I like G1, but it's just G1 got it started. There's a whole world of Transformers out there. It's not all about G1. Open your eyes, sheeple. So to hear my friend Sammy up there doing the voice of Waspinator, and to hear Greg Berger being Grimlock, was mental. Go to the panels in the evening. Go to the costume competition, cosplay competition. Go to the script reading. Don't just sit in the bar and get shit-faced. Don't get shit-faced by 10 o'clock. It does you no good. Join in with the shit that's going on there. If you really hate it, then don't do it. But at least try it. Because I didn't think I was going to like it. And then I attended all of the stuff that goes with it like that for a long time. Because hearing it with your own ear holes is an experience not to be missed. Talking to Mark Ryan on Skype, pissed. Now, the reason this is funny is because there's me and Ray and Dave Wallace and a couple of other people. I'm name dropping. Fuck it. But these are the people that I wanted to go and see when I went to these events. You probably don't even know who Ray is anymore. But there will be people that you want to go and see. So yes, go and stand with them. And even if you're just in the proximity and you all do a YouTube thing, or you all do a vlog thing, or you do that stupid comic book thing that people are into, just do it. Just go and hang. I got to talk to Mark Ryan when he was Lockdown and Jetfire. I can't remember what. I don't think he'd been Lockdown yet. I think he'd just been Jetfire and the voice of Bumblebee in 2007. But I remember being very proud of myself while being quite pissed at the back of it all, really holding together, asking him the question that I wanted to ask him. This is all on video footage, by the way. If you look up that particular year, when we got to ask Mark Ryan questions, it's on. It turns out I was really pissed and just stood there kind of burbled out a question while I was a bit tipsy. I got to do it. It was a brilliant, funny thing. It happened at and I was like, oh, because everyone knows that I'm a movie fan. So I think Dave might have wandered over my way accidentally on purpose, because he knew that I would have just wanted to talk to the voice of Bumblebee, of Jetfire, and Lockdown. And it's why they both chose those same voices. Oh, I never know. Watching Ray play piano in the bar. Man crush time. Ray I Love Mess got me into... Him and Van Horto got me into doing YouTube reviews about 12 years ago. I don't give a fuck anymore. I know Ray hates the attention, but I came because I wanted to meet Ray. And as it happens, Ray stood in the bar with a big white piano and sang a song on the piano, and we all got to watch doing it. And it was that little... I'm going to move on now because I don't want to go on about it. It was one tiny piece. It was 2% out of 100. But that 2% I'll never forget, ever, ever. The bar at the Holiday Inn! The bar at the Holiday Inn! I'm very sorry to go on about it. I don't like the bar at the Hilton. It's too big. It's too exposed. It's never going to change. I understand that. I don't want you to do anything. I'm not really slagging it off because it just is what it is. We need the space. We need breathing room, as Hitler said. It's a Star Trek reference. The bar at the Holiday Inn was magic because it was just a tiny space with a tiny space outside. It was hot as fuck. We went one year when there were riots in Birmingham outside and all the shop windows were smashed and we didn't know if it was going to be on and we didn't know if it was going to be off, and it was all exciting, and we just got to sit in this outside space drinking with all of the gang and with Greg Berger and bloke who was the voice of Rat Trap and all that. Scott McNeil, dirty man, loves the women, wears a hat. Everybody loved him, and a lot of people just shy away. A lot of the guests often shy away. They don't want to sit with the audience. Scott McNeil didn't. He wanted to sit there with everyone. He sat there literally just and lapped. He had his senses on full, and he was just drinking in fame. Fucking fair play to you, sunshine. I loved it. The bar at the Holiday Inn. I'm playing with a Starscream weapon. Was brilliant. And I'm sick and tired of going on with the other stuff. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful to be there. But the bar at the Holiday Inn, if you were there, if you know, then you know. That's just how it is. Dinner with... Okay. Roll-out roll call. We did a second rollout roll call, which was it second? It was a big rollout roll call, a big Holiday Inn, a big hotel in London, where I met the lady I just had a baby with. And it was fairly early on. It was all sorts of things, and it was time to eat. And we didn't want to go in the restaurant that was in there, so we went. Someone else said, well, there's a pub up the road. Let's go to the pub up the road. We'll go and have some pub food, you know, cheesy chips, something like that. It's all good. And it was a whole load of us, but it was the Mapes brothers, it was Thew, it was just a big gang of people that all got together at one place at one time, and we all got to go and talk toy robots. And it was nice. I've always had a problem fitting in. I've always felt that other people were better than me and that I never fitted in and I somehow didn't deserve my place in what I was doing. And I've kind of... It's taken till I was 45. 45 in a month. 25th of August. Send all your presents. It's taken till I was in my late 30s, early 40s to understand that the problem in my head was in my head, and that in reality no one is better than anyone else. The Mapeses have got an awful lot of toys between them, and if you want to talk to them about it, they fucking love talking to you about it. They don't want to hide away. They don't want to do it at all. Talk to Thew. Thew's a lovely guy. He's brilliant. He's just like everybody else. All the people are just like all the people. No one's particularly special. Some people you have to treat with kid gloves a little bit because there are circumstances, but in the main, 90% of the time, the people are just the people. And we went to the pub and we got 3 tables and we got a little bit drunk and we got a little bit raucous and we had cheesy chips and bollocksy dinner and then walked back, and it was just a very, very, very nice little snapshot of fitting in with the community. Just being one with the community. And not being good or bad or big or little. Just a load of people that have just got the same ideals and same hobbies and same wishes, and just sitting there and just enjoying it. It's good. That was very good. Helping Dave Tree in the dealer room. Now, I went up to TFN many, many times with Dave. when I was a single man. I was a singleton. And we went up in his absolutely fucking horrible van. His van's fucked for years. The only way we could get all the way up there to... Is that turned off? No, there we go. The only way we could ever get all the way up to TFN was to have the heating on full blast all the time. And he would come and pick me up, or I'd go to his, and there would be a van full of stuff, and we'd always be slightly late, and we'd always be running behind, and we'd always be desperately trying to set up the stall when loads of people were trying to come in and they were trying to do the opening night thing, and it was always mad, and it was always fractions, and we were always hot and sweaty. And I wouldn't have changed any of that for the world, if I'm honest with you, because I haven't seen Dave in a little while. And I do feel bad about it, because he's a very, very good guy, and he works really, really hard at what he does. And it's a shame some of the stuff that he didn't take off. I had a little poke about it earlier. I'm not going to do it again. But to get to see the dealer room, to get to walk around and meet some of the people, just to get to join in and see some of the cool shit all get set up before anyone else got a chance to. Not because I got toys that other people didn't get a chance to see. Not because I got cheap stuff, or not because I got an opportunity that I wouldn't have had anyways. Sometimes that stuff came along, but in the main, all I wanted to do was get to the bloody bar and get pissed with my friends. But it was a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to just see the other side of how things work. Sunday was always a very different thing, because Dave still had to pack up. We didn't get out of there till 8:30 sometimes, and didn't get home till midnight, and I was often ruined. Doesn't matter, it's fine. Going up to Ben's room, selling off stuff on the sly. I didn't mean on the sly, but it's fine. And Emily's put massive boner. I didn't go to Ben's room to have a massive boner, but it did give me a gigantic boner. There was one time at Roll Out Roll Call where Ben brought all of his background and his camera and stuff like that, and recorded a video on Galvatron, which I then bought off him. And it was just nice that we all got a little text message that just said, I'm selling some stuff. If you want to sell some stuff, come upstairs. I don't want to take the piss. I don't want to do it at the bar. But if you want to meet me in my room and just see what I brought, fine. And there was just loads of fucking awesome shit. And I got, what did I get that year? Ocular Max Inferno. Not Inferno, he's got another name, but who cares? It's Inferno, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice going up there. I got, the most amazing toy, amazing bad toy. I got a Jetfire, Generations Jetfire that wasn't. It was a bad KO of Iron Man. It was in red and gold, and it was magic. So I got that, and I bought oversized Hound from the movies. That was good. That was one of those points where it's nice to know people. It's nice to make the effort to know people. If you do YouTube and you reach out to another YouTuber, you've already got that join in between to say, hi, it's me, how you doing? That was nice. The next one, how long is this? 25 minutes. I don't want to go over 30 minutes, so let's just go. The last one was one of the single greatest episodes of my entire existence. I've never been to a music concert, and I get very nervous in a hall full of people, which is weird given that I spent 10 years DJing. But the DJing thing was very different, because I got to do some really epic stuff, but I also got to do some very small stuff when it was just 200 people in the club. And when you're the DJ and you're playing the music and you are the man and you are the focus and you're the centre of attention, and it's easy to get on with people because you're that guy. I've seen you. You're the reason why I'm here to a degree. Excellent. Stan Bush concert. I didn't know what to make of it. And we walked in there, and I think I forgot something, so I had to come back. But I didn't miss anything, and the hall was already 2/3 full. I say full, but it was fairly full. It was enough. But there was a proper, real deal stage set up with a barrier and the worst sound system I've ever heard. It was overstretched and underpowered. But it was Stan Bush, and they sang some songs, and it was songs that we'd never heard of before, and I'm just like, this is okay. And that was the year that Stu couldn't be there because it's last year. Stu couldn't be there because I think that the hotel made a savage fuck up when it comes to family rooms and stuff like that. I'm not sure I'll do that again. But I got to see Stan Bush on a stage sing. And Emily was there, and we were stood just with all the people just running around, just like high fives, and this is really great. And to some people who'd been to lots of gigs, it was just like, yeah, it was all right. It was good. I got to see Stan Bush. It was pretty cool. For me, it was like the first time I'd ever seen a band play instruments and not a bloke press buttons on a CDJ. It was magic. Absolutely magic. I remember standing there and I was turning my back to the stage like this and holding my phone up so the front facing camera was on so I could see what I was recording, and then Facebook living stuff in so Stu could see where he was, and we were chatting, and then he played the songs from the film, and it was just 800 people singing Dare, singing The Touch, and then he did another 2 songs from his album that no one really gave a fuck about, and then at the end it was just like, well, I've got time to do one more, and what do you want? And then it was just, they played Dare again, which is my favourite one, and it's just magic. Can you see the look on my face, the stupid look on my face? That's how much I loved it. It was just and obviously I met a very nice girl at a convention, and I said, she takes the piss that I sent her a cheesy, dirty kind of message. I don't think I did. Fuck you, Pew. I didn't send a message like that. I sent you a very nice message, and then we met up because we had stuff in common, and that's how it is. And then I got a baby up here, and now we've got to live in a hospital for 2.5 months while he still cooks in a glass box. But it was good. See, got a house, got all this shit. You make friends. You these events are important because you meet stuff and you meet people that are going to affect you for the rest of your existence. I still talk to so many people from those early days, and it's important. It's 2850. I'm getting there. It's just important. If this is something that's in your soul, then you need to get it from inside outside, and this is the opportunity once a year. And I won't be there as an attendee this year. If I do go to visit, I'm going to make sure I just make everyone that I need to know, and then we'll all have maybe an hour at the bar where I can just go and sit down. And I've given up drinking. I'm 1 month and 2 days sober. But I can have a Coke with all of you lovely lot, and I'll just see if I can get everyone together at one time in one place. Optimus Prime mug. Got it from all the cool stuff. You can also go to Kapow Toys and all the other ones, and if you want to buy stuff that's not quite the norm, then you can go and speak to Greg at Primetime Toys. It's not an advert, but it's just nice to stick it all in. My name has been SMSNO. It's not SMS1 anymore. I changed it. Some stuff happened in my life. It's just SMSNO. And I like these things, and you should like them too. 30, 05, 06, 07, 08.